VP conversation on the outside because he's done a fantastic job with the Bills. He broke a 25-year drought last weekend, capturing the AFC East. Now the Bills, if they win tonight against the Patriots and next weekend against the Dolphins, they could secure the 2 seed in the AFC. Ashley?
Yeah, more headlines today on SportsCenter. The ACC has announced that tomorrow's college basketball game between Pitt and Duke has been postponed due to a positive COVID-19 test within the Pitt program. Duke hasn't played a game since December 16th, which was a win over Notre Dame. And a major trade in baseball remains imminent. The Rays are set to deal starting pitcher Blake Snell to the Padres in exchange for 2 pitching prospects and 2 young catchers. Snell is 28 years old and a former AL Cy Young Award winner with a team-friendly contract. And more serious health news surrounding goalie Henrik Lundqvist, who announced today that he will undergo open heart surgery. The 38-year-old former Rangers star previously said he wouldn't be able to play this season on a 1-year deal with Washington because of a heart ailment. And more good news to current Florida basketball star Keontae Johnson. He is back with the team and working as a coach. After he collapsed on the court in a game back on December 12th, the Gators are scheduled to play their first game since Johnson's collapse on Wednesday against Vanderbilt. Glad to see him doing well.
Really good news there. All right, we're following a developing story in the NBA. Big blow to the Brooklyn Nets as Spencer Dinwiddie has a partially torn right ACL surgery scheduled next week. He was averaging 21 minutes per game so far early this season. 7 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists per game. Now Dinwiddie has experienced ACL injuries before. At Colorado as a junior, he tore his left ACL in a game and missed the rest of the season. Again, small sample size, but when the 27-year-old Dinwiddie has been on the floor this season, the Nets have been terrific, outscoring their opponents by nearly 30 points per 100 possessions. Without Dinwiddie this season, the Nets have been significantly worse on both ends of the floor and outscoring opponents by less than 6 points per 100 possessions. Malika Andrews joining us now live from Barclays Center with much more on this story. Malika, how do the Nets plan to now account here for the loss of Dinwiddie?
Well, first of all, Kevin, Spencer, I'm told, it'll be more clear whether or not he's going to miss the entirety of the season after his rehab gets started. He's scheduled to have surgery next week. But in terms of how the Nets will accommodate, expect to see Caris LeVert in that starting lineup. Remember last year, Caris was actually starting, but initially in the season, the plan was to have Spencer Dinwiddie as their 6th man, have Caris LeVert start, and then with injuries to Caris LeVert, his thumb, and Kyrie Irving, his shoulder, eventually Spencer Dinwiddie ended up in that starting lineup, and then Steve Nash continued that and kept him in the starting lineup this year. I expect to see him be the guy that is absorbing a lot of those minutes.
You mentioned injuries. Brooklyn's going to be also without Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving tonight against the Grizzlies as they will rest on the second night of back-to-backs here. And when we specifically talk about making sure the players are healthy on back-to-backs, how will they handle Kevin Durant on these back-to-backs moving forward?
Well, I asked Steve Nash about that yesterday, and he said that he doesn't have a preconceived plan for the entire season to rest Kevin Durant on the front or back half of every back-to-back like we've seen guys like Kawhi Leonard do coming off more serious injuries. And so this is sort of a building block. As time moves on, they will continue to assess whether or not he can play in both halves of games. But I asked Kevin Durant about that too, and he told me that it is his goal eventually to not only be able to play in back-to-backs, but to play his, quote, normal minutes, those high 20s, low 30 minutes in back-to-back games. He's been treating every game of the regular season as a sort of building block, testing out that Achilles, and he said that that is another test that he would like to pass, Kevin.
The man missed over 550 days of basketball. He wants to play. Brooklyn's next back-to-back comes January 7th as well as the 8th. Malika Andrews live from the Barclays Center.
All right, how about this game late last night? It just made me feel chilly just watching it. This is Titans center Ben Jones. He walks out on the field barefoot pregame for every game and says a prayer in honor of his late brother. A little snow didn't stop him at Lambeau. It would not stop Aaron Rodgers. He's like, you think this bothers me? Devontae Adams dives in for the touchdown. Packers lead 6-0. Thank you very much. He's on my fantasy team. Second quarter, Packers lead 12-0. Rodgers with a nice fade to Adams, corner of the end zone. TD. That's Adams' 16th touchdown catch this season, making him the third Packer to ever reach that mark in a single season. It is 19-0. I think he's trolling King Henry there. Love it. Titans get the ball first in the third. It's 19-7. Tannehill, take off. Ryan Tannehill just explodes up the middle of the field, finds the end zone for a 45-yard touchdown. Check out those wheels. He's all smiles. The Titans then would score 14 unanswered points. It's a 19-14 game. Ensuing Packers drive, though, Aaron Jones bounces the handoff outside, rolls out, going in. Oh, no, it's a 59-yard gain, but I want you to take another closer look at that. Jones clearly steps out of bounds. I don't care if it's snowing or nothing. That's out of bounds. Mike Vrabel was not able to challenge in time. Packers catch a break. 2 plays later, Rodgers, Adams, again. And it's like, when that happens, what are you going to do? What a game for Adams.
Take your medicine.
Yeah, just go home. Get a blanket. Next Packers possession here. A.J. Dillon takes the handoff. And boom, 30-yard touchdown. That's the first of his career. Lambeau Leap, not quite, but that's okay. There's no fans there to make fun of him. The Packers go on to win 40-14. 231 passing yards, 4 touchdowns there. And I want you to take a look here at the AFC and all these scenarios. The Titans' loss leaves 5 teams vying for 4 playoff spots in the AFC. The Titans, Dolphins, Ravens, and Browns, they all control their own destiny. They get in with a win or potentially a loss by another team. The Colts do need a little help, though. They need to win and have one of the other 4 teams slip up. We got our guy Marcus Spears back with us to help us sort out this AFC playoff picture. Marcus, 5 teams, 4 spots. So who do you see being the odd team out?
It hurts me so bad to say this, Ashley, but I think it's the Cleveland Browns.
Aww.
And as good of a season as they've had, and I actually wanted to see this team in the playoffs. I wanted to see Baker Mayfield and them fully healthy and see what they could do down the stretch. But I believe this pass defense is going to be their Achilles heel. They are struggling mightily, and obviously they don't have Harrison back there, and Ward has been out. But if you look at what Pittsburgh does as well as anybody is throw the ball, either short intermediate routes or even pushing it downfield like they did in the second half against the Colts. And I also feel like just that experience, Mike Tomlin being on the sideline, being in this situation multiple times before is going to bode well for what the Pittsburgh Steelers are and what they're trying to get accomplished. It's so unfortunate. And if by any chance the Cleveland Browns win and they get into the playoffs, I will be super excited to see them going forward. But I think they're going to be the odd team left out because of their pass defense.
Yeah, that is so tough because they have taken so many years to build up to this point, and they get here and it's just not working out. Let's talk NFC now. Green Bay currently has the 1 seed. Both the Saints and the Seahawks still have a shot, though. So remember, there's just 1 bye in each conference. How crucial do you view that 1 seed when it comes down to who you think will end up representing the NFC in the Super Bowl?
It's absolutely critical. And look, for all intents and purposes, it will be Green Bay with the 1 seed based on how they're playing. And you telling me people going to have to go up there where it's frozen as a mug and try to play in what that weather was? We saw Derrick Henry and Tannehill last Sunday struggle in that weather, and saw Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams and Dillon and Aaron Jones and that defense operate like they were playing in sunny California, like where you from, Ashley, with some nice weather, and the cleats were sticking more than the Titans' cleats were sticking. They understood how to work and maneuver in that snow.